So, as a big merchandise collector, I've thought about it. What are my personal guidelines for what I wear? I mean, everyone has their own. It's kind of a funny subject because, at the end of the day, it is sports merchandise, but I have certain guidelines. I won't wear this with this. I won't wear this other thing with this other thing. So, let's get into it. So, a big pet peeve I have with sports merchandise and in general, and my own personal merchandise is mismatching. And there's a couple different aspects. I've broken it down into four different things. So I think, you might be saying, well, you're mismatching right now. You're wearing an A's hat with a Raiders jersey. And here's why that, in my eyes, is okay. First of all, they're two of my favorite teams from different leagues, and they geographically make sense. I think as long as A, they aren't teams from the same sport, and B, they are geographically make sense, you can wear them together with it making sense. Now, if this was an A's hat and a Miami Dolphins jersey, then you might get some people, scratching their heads because, that combination doesn't really make too much sense. Now, albeit, you might have connections from both cities, but I don't think it's necessarily just to wear them both at the same time. However, A's and Raiders, or heck, even A's and Niners together, would be geographically making sense. That shows that you're an Oakland fan. If you are an A's fan and Miami Dolphins fan, for example, then just like both, but I wouldn't cross between the two. I just think that's confusing. It's a pet peeve, but you do it your way, I do it my way. I think another way of mismatching that kind of gets on my nerves is like a drastic color change. I think if it's from the same city, that's all right, but if you're wearing a Seattle Mariners hat with a just completely different jersey under below you have I don't know, a Seattle Mariners hat and a New York Mets jersey, and that's breaking another rule. They're the same sport, but it just wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing. I just think if you have a drastic color change between what you're wearing on your head and a jersey / t-shirt, it doesn't look very good. So that's something else I don't do. This isn't a very big drastic color change. The Raiders actually you can wear with pretty much anything and it'll work because it's just black and white and silver. Another thing, and this really, the other topic I'm bringing up only really applies to if your team went to the championship or multiple championships. So the Warriors, for me, years. I think it's really something that gets a pet peeve of mine is mismatching years of the championship. For example, if I wore a 2015 Champions Warriors hat with a 2018 shirt, I just think that's kind of weird. Wear one championship together. Don't mix, unless you're going to mix all three, but don't do two out of the three. And I don't know. I guess that's not as extreme as some other things, but it just seems a little bit weird because you're kind of you're bringing two different separate years together. But I think if you brought all three together, that would be good. Now, another thing is just mismatching teams in general that don't make sense. That's kind of what I touched on. Another thing is, I think when you're buying a jersey and you want to get a player on it, your natural instinct is to get a current player, which is good. I think for me, I'll get a current player that will be remembered. I wouldn't get a current player that you're going to kind of forget about in 5 years. There's plenty of instances that I've seen of that, and it's a waste of money. And effectively, honestly, getting a jersey of a player that isn't relevant can honestly ruin a jersey, because it just changes the look of it. You can buy whoever you want, but I think honestly getting a player that'll be remembered, Derek Carr's a good one because he's been, he's actually statistically one of the best Raiders quarterbacks ever, if not the best. So there's that. But if I bought, Richie Incognito on the Raiders, it would be less significant. So, and then also, buying throwbacks are always great. I actually prefer that because it shows that you know more about the team and you have a player that's timeless. And connecting to throwbacks, the biggest thing I hate with jerseys that I see people do, and I'm happy to say I've never done it, is when people buy a current jersey with an old player on it. So the current style, cut jersey with an old player on it. So, for example, if you saw the Rams brand new jerseys that they just came out with last year, the Rams brand new jerseys, and you put Kurt Warner on it, right? Their Hall of Fame quarterback. It doesn't historically make any sense. It's stupid. Another one I've seen before, which is completely stupid and utterly just terrible, is I've seen Raiders like Hall of Famers with the Las Vegas patch on it. Like Ken Stabler with the Las Vegas patch. Guy wasn't even alive when they were in Vegas. You know, when he was only an Oakland Raider ever. That doesn't make any sense. I've seen Bo Jackson with the Las Vegas. It doesn't make any sense. What's the point of getting a 2020 patch with a player that played in the 70s and 80s? It's stupid. And it goes both ways. A new player on an old jersey. If I got Matt Chapman on a jersey that, like a throwback style jersey that wasn't worn in a game, that would be kind of weird. Like, if I got a Matt Olson 1912 Philadelphia Athletics jersey, that would make absolutely no sense. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Everyone has their own personal thing, but for me, it comes down to mismatching and mismatching cities and colors and years and teams. That's pretty much just the big four subcategories under mismatching. Kind of the category of buying players that just don't really make sense to buy. And then the one I hate the most, current player, old jersey, or new jersey, old player. So yeah, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts, and let me know your personal guidelines. Maybe you don't have any. Maybe you're more flexible, but for me, it's very specific. So let me know your thoughts. See you guys later. Yeah, peace out.